Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves baseball. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Thursday, April 9th. Notice how I didn't say your favorite place for Braves baseball and the rest of the league, like I usually say, because we're going to have a little bit of change of plans here on the Chop Seat. We're going to go back to just covering the Braves, only the Braves, just brainstorming, and I think that's the best way for me to give you guys the best show that I can give you. So we're going to go back to initially that's what the Chop Seat was created for. It was just created to cover Braves baseball. Kind of branched out a little bit and try to cover the rest of the teams around the league, even though it was, a little bit brief. But it's just, as a one-man show, it's just a lot to cover. It's a lot to cover, a lot of editing, a lot of getting the stats, catching up with all the games. So, it's just, again, as a one-man show is difficult. It's been difficult. So I had to step back, brainstorm a little bit, and see how I can give you guys a better show. And that's going to be covering the Braves. Maybe here and there, I am able to do an MLB segment and cover what's going on around the league. But again, due to just, life and different responsibilities here and there, new things popping up, I think it's best to go focusing solely on the Braves for now, at least for now. Obviously, when the playoffs come around and things like that, we can cover the rest of the league, as there won't be as much to cover as there would be right now. Everyone's playing right now. Once playoffs start, just got a few teams playing. It's not the whole league, so it makes it a little bit easier there. But that's what we're gonna do. This is still your place for Braves baseball. It's not the rest of the league. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. Also, if this is the first time stumbling across the Chop Seat, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at the Chop Seat Pod. That's Instagram and at the Chop Seat on TikTok, X, Facebook, and YouTube. I would appreciate you guys following, subscribing, leaving some comments, leaving some reviews. Again, I would truly appreciate that. Braves were starting a series with the Los Angeles Angels last time we spoke, and they were riding a 2-game losing streak heading into that series. So we're going to see if they were able to snap that and turn things around. And there was also a rumble out there, man, a little brawl out there that's gone viral. We're going to talk about that. We got some new jerseys, new City Connect jerseys that are being dropped. They're going to be displaying that starting tomorrow when they start that new homestand with the Cleveland Guardians, which we're going to take a look at that briefly when we get to the Braves forecast. But before we get into that, let's head into our first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we catch up with the previous Braves series. And before we do that, we want to give a shout out to our friends at SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSY20 to save $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. You want to go catch the Braves, catch your favorite team, whoever it is, go to SeatGeek and use code CHOPSY20 and save $20 off your first purchase. And again, it's not just for baseball. You want to go watch an NBA game, NHL, concerts, comedy shows, anything that you need tickets for, go to SeatGeek and use $20 off your first purchase by using code CHOPSY20. So let's get, I don't know why I'm doing it. There we go. Let's get into the series. Game 1 of the series. Again, the Braves are coming into Anaheim with a 2-game losing streak, and they had the perfect guy on the mound to try to end that streak. That's the ace, Chris Sale. He was going up against the Angels ace, Jose Soriano, the young arm, talented arm that they have. And listen, that kid, he went all out. He went 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 10 strikeouts. You heard that right. 10 strikeouts. He was going up against Chris Sale, who went 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6. All those earned. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 homers allowed. It was a rough start for Chris Sale. Very rough start, and you'll see why. But before you see why, in the top of the first, Drake Baldwin, he stays high. He hits a solo homer out to right center field. That's his 5th homer of the season. Drake Baldwin looking like a solid MVP candidate early on in the season. That makes it 1-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the first, though, Zach Neto, the first pitch he sees from Chris Sale, it's a 95-mile-per-hour fastball right down the pipe. He sends it 400 feet flat, 400 feet to left field. It's a tied ball game. Bottom of the 4th. This is where Chris Sale gets into trouble. First, he hits Jorge Soler. I was about to say Jose Soler. Joe Adele singles out to right field. He then walks Jamer Candelario. The bases are now loaded. He walks Logan O'Hoppe. That gives the Angels a 2-1 lead. And this was the theme for the weekend. This was the theme for this series. The Angels. It was getting baseballs to the head. After walking Logan O'Hoppe, Chris Sale, unhappy with himself. He hits himself with the baseball. He just brings it up to his head, knocks himself out a little bit real quick. It gets a few shots. Again, he was unhappy with himself. That was the theme for this series against the Angels, getting baseballs to the head. Chris Sale, out of frustration, grabs a baseball, knocks himself in the head a few times. And it was a rough start, and it continued in the this inning. You know, the struggles continue. He does get an out on a ground ball hit by Oswald Peraza, but the next batter, John Moncada, he hits him. It's a hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. That makes it 3-1 Angels. Bryce Still, the OCO, hits one out to the 6th hole. Mauricio Dubon with a nice diving stop, but there's no play there for him. He has to eat it. Another runner scored at 4-1. Everyone was safe. 4-1 Angels. It was a long 3-run inning there for the Angels. Chris Sale cannot get out of it unscathed. And in the bottom of the 5th, Jorge Soler singles out to right field. And then Odell follows with a 2-run homer out to left center field at 6-1 Angels. Joe Payams comes in to relieve Chris Sale. That ends the night for Chris Sale. But again, rough start from him. And I'm assuming he's going to come out and make sure he fixes that next start. Because, you know, it's rare to see Chris Sale have 2 bad starts. After that, it was quiet all day, all night. It was quiet all night for the Braves offense until the top of the 9th when Mauricio Dubon hits a homer off of Chase Silseth. That was after Jose Soriano was taken out. That's the 2nd homer of the season for him. That makes it 6-2. But that is the ball game. The Braves end up dropping the first game of the 3-game set. That makes them get their first 3-game losing streak of the season. Jose Soriano, as I mentioned, he just shut down that good Braves offense. And Chris Sale, very, very bad struggle there for him, especially in that bottom of the 4th inning. Braves score 2 on 5 hits, no errors. Angels score 6 on 5 hits, no errors. But then we go on to game 2. This is a game that has gone viral this week. Game 2 on the mound. It was Reynaldo Lopez going up against Yusei Kikuchi. Reynaldo Lopez, he goes 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He gives up 1 homer. You're going to find out who he gave that one up to soon. It was Yusei Kikuchi, though, on the mound for the Angels. 5 innings for him, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And before we get into that, I forgot to say, Chris Sale did get the loss in the previous game. He's now 2-1 with a 3.94 ERA. Jose Soriano improves at 3-0 with a .45 ERA. After Chris Sale was taking out the game, I did mention Joe Payams came in. Also, Aaron Bummer and Osvaldo Vito, excuse me, they came in and combined for 4 innings of no hit, no walk baseball, and 3 strikeouts between them. Back to game 2, though, the viral ball game. Bottom of the first, Mike Trout, he reaches on a throwing error by Austin Riley, and then Jorge Soler is the one that hits that homer off of Reynaldo Lopez. They make him pay. He makes him pay, excuse me. That makes it 2-0 Angels. Top of the second, the Braves, they get on board. They get on board with a leadoff double by Matt Olson, and then the 2-out double by Eli White, who was getting the start at center field. This ballgame, Michael Harris, the second on the bench for this one. That makes it 2-1 Angels. Heading into the bottom of the third with 1 on and 2 outs. A 2-2 count. Reynaldo Lopez hits Jorge Soler with a 96-mile-per-hour fastball on the right hand. Right on the hand. It wasn't the right hand. It's right on the hand. And again, I want to put emphasis on that. It was a 2-2 count. 2-2 count with 2 outs. You got one guy on. He was on second. I believe he was on second at this moment. Confusing the 2 innings, but he wasn't trying to hit him. You got him down 2 strikes. You're trying to get him out. He had got him missing with a high an inside fastball previously in the same at bat. I think he was trying to go there again. It just sailed on him. He ends up hitting Soler, unfortunately. You can even see Lopez. He was a bit frustrated, unless he was just trying to play it off. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think he hit him intentionally or not? I don't think he did. He was, again, 2-2 count, 2 outs in the inning. You got a runner on in scoring position. So, again, I don't really think he was trying to hit him. Unfortunately, it sailed on him and some clocking him. So that was that. We'll leave that at that. That's just a little preview to what happens next. Top of the fourth, Austin Riley singles in Matt Olson. That's a tie ball game there. Then Mauricio Dubon, he doubles, and Eli White follows with a sac fly. That gives the Braves a 3-2 lead. They take the lead there, and then Anaheim singles out to left field. So that makes it 4-2 Atlanta heading into the bottom of the fifth. And this is where the rumble in Anaheim takes place in this bottom of the fifth inning. Lonan Shannon, he's on first base. First pitch to Soler is high and in. It sails towards the backstop. It bounces back towards Anaheim. Anaheim actually throws to second because Lonan Shannon was trying to advance to second. He's in there safely. And then after that is a bit of a stare down between Jorge Soler and Reynaldo Lopez. You know, they say words. Soler started going towards the mound. Reynaldo started squaring up. And I got to say, I was a little surprised with the way he squared up. Reynaldo, he said squared up real quick. He's showing some footwork. He starts moving back on him. Haymakers were thrown. Everyone's throwing haymakers. Not everyone, but Soler and they're throwing haymakers. Everybody starts rushing in. Listen, Reynaldo Lopez, he still had. I don't know how he kept the ball in his hand the whole time. He nearly stayed with the glove in his on the whole time as well, but he was able to get rid of the glove at one point. But he ends up clocking him, bro. Again, this is a theme for this series against the Angels. Baseballs to the head. Reynaldo Lopez ends up clocking Jorge Soler in the head. It kind of grazed him a little bit. He did have the helmet. Good thing he had that helmet on. Good thing Soler had that helmet on. Because if not, I don't know what would have happened there, bro. I don't know what happened there. But, again, he did have his helmet on. Walt Weiss comes in. Linebacker status. Tackles Jorge Soler. Holds him down. Obviously, former Braves player Jorge Soler. And I love Jorge Soler, bro. Never going to forget that 2021 postseason he had, especially that World Series. World Series MVP, bro. Put some respect in his name. I'm always going to cherish Jorge Soler. That was a bomb he hit out in Houston. That game-clinching game. That World Series clinching game right there. Game 6. But again, Walt Weiss tackles him. His former bench coach. After the game, Soler said that, he was just trying to protect him. So, he didn't have no problem with it. If Walt Weiss doesn't come in and take him down, Soler's a big dude, bro. If he doesn't take him down, I don't think it would have been pretty for Reynaldo Lopez, man. And Reynaldo Lopez, like I said, he was in there. He squared up. But I don't think it would have ended up well, bro. If Soler connects with one of them haymakers, bro, I think my boy would have been on the ground sleeping. But anyways, it was diffused. situation was diffused. Reynaldo Lopez ends up getting ejected. Jorge Soler gets ejected. And listen, Soler's numbers against Reynaldo Lopez, 14 for 23. That's a 591 batting average. He has 5 homers against him, 3 doubles. He's done some damage against him. He's done some damage. And maybe that's why I thought that Reynaldo Lopez was going at him purposely. But, after Reynaldo Lopez said he wasn't, it just sailed on him. It was a, misinterpretation between the two guys, communication or whatever you want to call it. And that was that. Emotions got the best of them, and that's what went down. But, hey, it is what it is. Thankfully, no one got hurt. They both signed to 7 games. Reynaldo Lopez, he did appeal his suspension. It's been reduced to 5. Jorge Soler is appealing his as well. I think it's still pending. So as of right now, he's still able to play, and he is still facing a 7-game suspension. We'll see what happens in the next few days if they're able to bring that down, maybe to 5 or 4. But it's not as bad for the Braves. Let me know what you guys think. Is a 5-game suspension for Reynaldo Lopez, is that bad or what? That's kind of like a slap on the wrist because, again, he's going to be off for 5 days. He's going to be maybe just push the start back a day. That might be it. So is it really that bad of a punishment for the Braves and Reynaldo Lopez besides his pay? I don't think so. I mean, we'll take it, though. We'll take it. But anyways, we'll take it. I don't know, but he got money, bro. You got money, Reynaldo. So I think he'll be fine. But again, thankfully no one got hurt, bro, because you don't want to see anybody getting hurt like that, especially with a fight. Austin Riley, he hit the dirt. He fell down. You saw Ozzy running in. Oh, yo, Ozzy, stay back, bro. Stay back, kid. I don't want you getting hurt, bro, because he dudes are big, man. He got some big giant guys in there, man, and that pile up. So anyways, it was just fun. When you see everyone, like, what everyone does individually during, like, one of these brawls, it's just hilarious to me. But I've put a whole bunch of times. But anyways, that's what happened with the brawl. Top of the 8th, talking about Ozzy. He has a solo shot. Like I said, 5-2 Braves. That's the 3rd of the season for him. And then the top of the 9th, the Braves end up scoring 2 more, 7-2 lead for the Braves. Iglesias, he came in. He got a second save of the season. He pitched an inning and 2/3 in this ball game. Roberto Suarez came in the 7th to face the top dogs of the Angels. So I like to see that from Walt Weiss, putting his best reliever, because we got to be honest, the best reliever right now is Roberto Suarez. Roberto Suarez is our best reliever. He's just not the closer right now. After this season, it's safe to say that he will be the closer for the Atlanta Braves. And he's put him in to face the top dogs, man. The top dogs in the lineup. And then he's able to bring in Iglesias to get the final 3 outs, or in this case, the final 5 outs of the ball game. But again, Iglesias picks up his second save of the season. Tyler Kinley gets the win in this one. The Braves, they end up scoring 7 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors, unfortunately, but they got to clean that up. It's all good. They got to clean that up. And Angels scored 2 on 6 hits, no errors. That's how game 2 goes down. The Braves finally end the 3-game losing streak that they had going on. And then game 3, the rubber matchup, that was on Wednesday, 4 p.m. start, Eastern Start Time. Remember, in this show, all the times I give you, it's going to be Eastern Start Times. It was Grant Holmes on the mound for the Braves. 6 2/3 for him. 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. And Reed Detmers was going on the mound for the Angels. He goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Top of the first, Ronald Acuna Jr. greets him with a double, then moves him over via a ground out. He moves him over to third, and Ozzy Albies brings him in via a sac fly. Easy 1 run scored there. 1-0 Atlanta. Top of the second, Austin Riley, he gets on. He draws a walk. He then steals second. Surprising steal there by Austin Riley. And then Jonah Heim brings him in thanks to a ground rule that makes it 2-0 Atlanta with the lead. But in the bottom of the second, of course, it's Jorge Soler. He hits a solo shot. That's the 3rd of the season for him. That's a 2-1. and the Angels, they tied the game on a low to walk, 2-2 ball game there. It was a rocky inning for Grant Holmes. But after that, he settled in. Credit to him, he settled in. Top of the third, Matt Olson with a 2-run homer. That makes it 4-2 Braves. They regained the lead, and then they score another one on a throwing error by the shortstop, Zach Neto. That makes it 5-2 Atlanta. Top of the fifth, Mauricio Dubon. He hits a double. That's the fourth of the season for him. With that double, he drives in two. He drives in Austin Riley and Ozzy Albies. That makes it 7-2 Atlanta. And then on top of the sixth, the MVP Drake Baldwin with an RBI single. 8-2 ball game. Good game. GG's. The Braves, they win the series. They get a happy flight back home. And listen, the Braves still haven't lost the series yet. Let's see if they're able to keep that rolling when we get back home to start this new homestand. So it's kind of it was a successful road trip. Because you win the first two against the Diamondbacks, you lose the last two, you split that series, and you go back and forth here with the Angels. So this trip, what was it, 7 games? You end up going 4-3. Listen, that's a successful West Coast road trip to me. I'll take that any day. Any 4-3 West Coast, sign me up. So the Braves are able to come back with an 8-5 record. They'll be back home, like as I said. Actually, before we get to the Braves forecast for the second game, for the last game that we just said, Grant Holmes, he did get the win. He now has a 1-1 record with a 2.55 ERA. Reed Demers gets the loss, a 0-1 record with a 4.60 ERA. And after Grant Holmes came out in the seventh inning with 1 out remaining, Hyams and Jose Suarez came in to finish the game. So and they finished it clean. No runs given up by them. So it was good to see. Good to see. Again, the offense woke up in these last 2 games. 7 runs scored and then 8 runs scored in the final ball game there. And again, very, very good. Very good showing by the offense. Again, glad no one got hurt with that brawl. And, it's just, again, compared to last year's start, I'm loving the start so far. And I'm loving guys like Mauricio Dubon, as, he's been putting in that work. Eli White, Jonah Heim. These guys have been, Don Smith, obviously, in the previous series. These guys, they're doing their thing, man. And I'm really happy to see them doing their things, filling in these spots that, they were up in the air after a few guys were out of the starting lineup. So these guys have stepped up. Even Jorge Mateo with that speed, and he's been hitting here and there. And, again, with the speed, his glove hasn't been bad, man. Hasn't been bad. It was good to see these guys stepping up and filling these roles. So now let's get into our next segment, guys. Let's get into our Braves forecast.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast, where we preview the upcoming Braves series, and that's a series against the Cleveland Guardians. It's gonna be a matchup between 2 8-5 teams. Guardians 8-5, Braves 8-5. First game is gonna be tomorrow night, Friday night, 7:15 p.m. Start there. Slade Ciccone, the righty, going against Bryce Elder, the righty as well. Slade Ciccone with an 0-1 record, 5.23 ERA. Bryce Elder is coming in with a 1-1 record and no runs given up, a 0.00 ERA for him. Parker Messick is going to be the game 2 starter for the Guardians. That's also at 7:15 on Saturday. It's going to be a lefty matchup because he's going up against Martin Perez, who's coming in with 3.86 ERA. Parker Messick with a 1-0 record and 0.82 ERA. In the final game of the 3-game set, this is going to be the primetime game. Remember, it's not Sunday night baseball on ESPN anymore. It's now on NBC/Peacock. It's going to be a 7:20 p.m. start time. Tanner Bybee, the righty, going up against Chris Sale. Again, Chris Sale with a 2-1 record, 9.4 ERA. Tanner Bybee, 0-1 with 3.29 ERA. Again, I feel like I say this every series, but the Braves should be winning this one. They should be winning this series. I'm giving them 2 and 3. They're gonna take 2 out of 3. They're gonna win that first game. Reynaldo on the mound. He's been phenomenal. They should be able to win that one. The only game that you should be losing, if that is the second game against, not against, but the second game with Martin Perez starting, the old veteran, old solid veteran. I don't mean old in a negative way. I'm just saying the old solid veteran, Martin Perez. But we'll see if he's able to, like that Guardians offense now. We'll see. But then Chris Sale start. It's Tanner Bybee. I gotta go Chris Sale here on this one. I gotta go Chris Sale. So again, I see the Braves taking 2 out of 3. We'll see how they end up performing, because obviously sometimes you think the series is gonna go a certain way, and then it doesn't. So we'll see. But I do think it's advantage Braves in this one. But again, we'll see. And Braves are actually debuting their new jerseys, the City Connect jerseys. Here they. If you're on the video version, actually, of course, I don't have the picture where the full jersey is being displayed. Let me see if I can pull it out real quick. But here you see the cap, though. The cap is fire, guys. This cap is fire. It's a powder blue 3D updated Cooperstown A logo to complement the new neck jersey. That joint is fire. I gotta get me one of those. Of course I do. But I'm still trying to pull up the picture for the full jersey here real quick, because that'll do us some justice here. Let's see. See if I can get it here. Let's see here. Working on it. Hopefully it works. It looks like it's working. Let's go. Looks like it's working here, guys. See if I can get this one. Let's see. There we go. We just need one more. Bear with me, guys. This is all going to be on the video version on YouTube, if you're able to see it. Here we go. Perfect. Awesome. This is awesome. I'm glad it was able to be pulled up. Here is the jersey right over here. Let me know what you guys think, man, of the new Braves City Connect jerseys. There's that shot right there. ATL, Atlanta, chess logo, lowercase a in script. Bringing that out, making it pop out. That's fire, bro. Here it is. 1980s powder blue jerseys. Bringing it back. They're bringing it back. Here is V. It's a V-neck, guys. You got the patch, and then you got the hat to go with it. So, guys, honestly, what are you guys thinking of this new City Connect, the new City Connect jerseys? What are you guys thinking of the new Atlanta Braves City Connect jerseys? Yay or nay? Do you guys like them? Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. How do you think these look? I want your honest opinion. I'm not a big V-neck fan, but this is fire, bro. Color scheme on this is dope. The powder blue is sick. The hat to go with it, fire, bro. I like it. But let me know. I'm curious on what you guys are thinking. But the powder blue, are you gonna see me rocking that powder blue? You're gonna see me rocking it this summer. I'm definitely gonna get my hands on one of those jerseys. But again, I think the Braves are gonna be rocking it this entire weekend. This weekend series against the Guardians. So if you're going out to the game out there and you already got your hands on the powder blue some way, somehow, or you went to the retail store down there, make sure to throw that jersey on, man. Make sure to throw that jersey on. If you want to send your boy a jersey, size medium right now, send your boy a jersey. I'll send you the address. You already know. You guys can pull up, send it over. Just kidding. But anyways, listen, that's all we got, guys, for the Chop Seat today. Actually, one last shout out to our friends at SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT20 to save $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. You want to go catch a Braves game, any other sport, NBA, basketball, NHL, hockey. You want to go watch a concert. Jay-Z, I think, is on tour, right? Romeo Santos, Prince Royce, they're on tour. Go to SeatGeek and use code CHOPSY20, and you're going to save $20 off your first purchase. And if you do use a code, let me know in the comments so I can thank you personally. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Chop Say. We'll be back next week. And until then, make sure you watch your games. Make sure to stay safe. And we will see you next time on the Chop Seat.